Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sapna Dadwal. I'm working as a professor in the Department of Management at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is lecture 18 of CP, that is Consumer Protection. The topic I'm going to cover in this lecture are ethics. I'll be discussing the definition of ethics with you, then unethical practices of business, then ethical and social functions of marketing, then significance of marketing ethics, then impact of unethical marketing. So these are the topics I'm going to discuss in this lecture. I'm starting with the first topic, that is ethics. The definition, I'm starting with definition of ethics. Ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or conducting of an activity, or it is a branch of knowledge that deals with moral principles. Ethics seeks to resolve what is good or bad, what is right or what is wrong. The value of system of good and bad and right and wrong is the base for smooth and satisfactory working of the society. Now, unethical practices of business. So, following are the unethical practices of business. The first one is corrupt practices. It is very unfortunate that the business support corrupt practices, and this corruption in business is not only in India. It is worldwide. Almost in every country of the world, there are corrupt practices. For example, a certain percentage is fixed of the amount involved in getting the work done, or may it be a contract or job or loan. So among Asian countries, Hong Kong, South Korea, India, Pakistan, they have high ranking in corruption in businesses. Now the second practice, unethical practice of business, is misuse of power. So these are the cases of misuse of powers granted in the field of commercial activity. For example, the duty exemption entitlement certificate scheme, which provide concessions to exports by way of duty-free imports, it is reported to have resulted in frauds. So these are the cases of misuse of power in the field of commercial activity. Now the third one is political contribution. So in any country where democracy prevails in any form, elections are common, and to fight elections, a huge funds are required. The business community does not hesitate to provide funds for these elections, and in return they are free to recover these funds from the consumer by way of high prices and other unethical practices. Then fourth is leakage of inside information. The competitive world of business believes in this sense to get secret of competitors at any cost and at any rate. It is in fact unhealthy and unethical practice. Just as everything is fair in war and love, so the same practice is followed in business to get secret of their competitors. So many good business organizations lose their business because of leakage of inside information to their competitors. Now the fifth unethical practice of business is executives or executives gifts and tips. In order to work done, giving of gifts and tips to key executives is unethical. Thus, the finance officer to pass checks, etc., are given gifts to pass checks, and the parties who doesn't gifts are delayed is unethical practices. Now, the next one is favors. This is another unethical practice that is being followed by business. Favoritism also includes persons are not being given due weightage. Here the rule that applies is suitability, then capability. So the capable candidates are sidelined by saying that person is able but not suitable. And the weightage is given to those candidates which are favorite. Now the next unethical practice is falsely recorded funds and transactions. So it is commonly found that many transactions involving huge amounts are either totally unrecorded or falsely recorded. Thus, it is a common practice to have two sets of accounts duly maintained and authenticated by professionals to satisfy the government authorities and the owners. So it is the systematic method used for tax evasions and avoidance of other duties, etc. Now the next topic is ethical social functions of marketing. Today, marketing is an integral part of society. It has come to stay. It has social ethical functions to perform to justify its existence. Following are the basic ethical functions of the marketing. First is consumer service. The marketing concept is a consumer service oriented. Consumer is the focal point of the marketing. Hence, economic system, consumer care, consumer satisfaction, and consumer delight are the stepping stone towards reaching the goal of profit making. Second is fair price. The price that consumer pays today for a product or a service is abnormally high and beyond tolerance. But consumer wants real value for their money. Whatever they are spending, they want real value for their money. So, consumer wants reasonable and fair prices to be charged for the product and services. He make use of it. So this is moral responsibility of marketers to provide consumer product and services at fair prices result into satisfaction of consumers. Third is to charge reasonable margins. Generally the profit margins are very high. The price increases if expected profit margin is high. So it is the moral responsibility of the marketers not to play with the emotions of consumers and charge reasonable margin of profit, reasonable prices, and reasonable expected margin should be added to the cost of the product and services. Then next one is non-deceptive practices. Marketers should not indulge into deceptive practices. Deceptive marketing practices include deceptive pricing, deceptive promotion, and deceptive packaging of products. So, deceptive pricing means and covers such practice as falsely advertising factory or wholesale or export prices, etc. So, it might be giving a very huge discount on invoice price. Deceptive promotion means that it includes such practices as overstating the product features as performance. So it's very clear from there should not be any deceptive practices followed by the marketers. They should not deceive customers. It is their moral duty not to deceive the consumers by deceptive pricing, by deceptive promotions. Then next is sale by safe product. Sale of unsafe product is an unethical activity. So consumers believe that advertising can sell anything. In other words, the products sold do not conform to quality standard prescribed or promised. Unsafe product refers to the product that is lacking in safety standards that do not guarantee the full benefits promised. So, it is the responsibility of the marketers not to sell unsafe products to the consumers. Then next is realistic claims in advertisement. Advertising is often accused by representative of the intellectual as as social evil. It sets out deceive, to encourage greed, and to persuade people to spend beyond their means. So there is nothing wrong in advertisement if it is done with a view of giving information to consumers about goods and services. But if it is given to deceive, then it is unethical. So this is the moral responsibility of the marketers, not to deceive people and not to give deceptive advertisement, and not to give deceptive and untruthful misleading advertisement to consumers. Next topic is significance of marketing ethics. Business ethics relate to behavior of businessmen and managers in a business situations. The businessman has to evaluate of their actions on consumers and society at large. The businessmen and managers have to follow norms of ethical behavior. So as a part of the society, business is responsible to act credible and behave ethically. The significance of business ethics has arisen in the modern age because of the impact of marketing practices on the consumers. So the impact of marketing ethics is discussed as under. The first is customers. Consumers of business or customers of the business expect a fair treatment. A business following social ethics will work in the interest of the consumer. So if business people or if the marketing people they are going by their ethic, then it is very significant for their business, and it is significant for their business as well as for their customers. Then second is employee. The employees have their trade unions, and trade union can pressurize the business management to persuade those policies which are conducive to healthy relations. It is unethical to deny the workers fair wages and other benefits of employment. So this is significant to the significance of marketing ethics, is that with the marketing ethics, they are important for employees as well, because if there are ethics, then because of marketing ethics, the organization will have huge profits, and if the organization is earning profit, then employees can always confront businessmen for the fair wages and other benefits. Then there comes industry. Marketing ethics also affects the industry. It is significant to the industry also. Business firms compete with each other for economic resources and for a greater share of the market. So business ethics and marketing ethics require them to follow fair trade practices, resulting into healthy competition among the business units. Then comes managers. So business ethics and marketing ethics serve as a clue to the business managers and as to what type of response is expected in a given situation. So both the marketing ethics as well as business ethics serve as a guideline to the managers to act in a situations, in a decision making related to marketing as relating to business. Now next one is society. Ethics are part of the social environment of the country. If the business is careful about the ethical standards, the whole society is going to benefit. It is same with marketing. If the marketing activities are being performed with ethics, then whole country is going to benefit from it. Unethical marketing actually not only exploit the consumer, it pollute the society as well. It pollute the culture of the society also. Now the next topic is impact of unethical marketing. Marketing as a social and business institution has to here accept defend, and dismiss the criticism that are leveled against. It is because some criticisms are highly justifiable, some are not. These criticisms are bound to be very clear if one tries to understand the impact of marketing on consumers, society, and the other businessmen. So these aspect has been discussed as under. The impact of unethical marketing is discussed as under. Broadly, we can divide, we can classify into two parts: impact on individual consumers, and the second one is impact on society or impact on public. The first I am going to discuss is impact on individual consumer. In any nation, every person is a consumer, whether he pays for a product, service or not. Consumer is very much worried about prices he pays, the quality he gets, the deceptive practices he has to face, the aggressive selling practices he has to undergo. So he does impacted by unethical practices or unethical marketing by the business world. The first is high prices. This is very unethical on the part of marketing to lead or to charge high prices. It is very unethical on the part of marketing. Generally, marketing increase the margins of the profit on the cost, and this leads to charging of high prices. Why? Generally, marketing, what they do, why they add high cost distribution, they high advertising promotion cost, excessive margin charged. So these are the practices, these are done by marketing people, and these practices are unethical. And they charge all these costs to the cost of the product and services and increase the margin of profit on the cost. And that's this when all these costs are added up, and when the margin of profit is huge, is added up, it increases the prices of the product and services. The second is deceptive practices. Marketers are also accused of indulging into deceptive marketing practices wherein consumers are exploited. Marketers gives false impression of the goods and services. They don't give facts, they don't give true information to the consumers about the products. They indulge into deceptive promotions, deceptive advertising. They indulge into deceptive packaging. So all these deceptive practices are being done by the marketers. Then third impact which is faced by individual consumer is high pressure selling. Marketers, high pressure selling means aggressive means of selling. So marketer actually they induce consumers to buy goods. They pressurize consumers to buy goods. So this is called as high pressure selling. Maybe customer doesn't want to buy those goods. Maybe customer doesn't have the need of buying those goods. But because of their over or high pressure or aggressive selling, they have to buy these. Then marketer or marketers give too much emphasis on materialism in the society. They emphasis on materialism. They foster this thinking and this idea of materialism in the minds of the consumers. Then next is marketers give too much emphasis on private goods. Then marketers planned marketers poor service to disadvantage consumers. Marketers, they do indulge, they do give poor service to the people. They don't give after sale services or guarantees or warranties as they have promised at the time of sales, or as they have promised in the advertisement. So they give poor services to the consumer, that proves to be disadvantage to the consumer. So this is unethical on the part of marketers. Now the next one is impact on society in impact of society in general. The impact of unethical practices on societies can be studied as under. There is too much emphasis on the materialism. The there's a strongly marketer people are strongly charged that marketing system through its subsystem, that is advertising, are responsible for creating an environment of materialism in the society in general. In today's world, the value system of material possession has become very important. People are judged by what they own, not by what they are. A person is considered a very successful in his life if he has been able to possess so many things. Thus, a person's social status is measured in terms of how many homes or flats or cars or other things he has, not by his character, not by his other abilities. So this is only this culture of materialism is created by only marketers. The second is that is too much emphasis on private goods. Marketers give too much emphasis on private goods. Then marketers are also charged with fueling a cultural pollution. It is another very strong point of attack is this on the marketers. They are polluting culture of the country. They are with their advertising, with their deceptive promotion activities, they are polluting the culture of the society. Now these are the questions which are related to the above topics we have discussed. If any query is there, please do contact me. If any problem is there, please do contact me. If any mistake is there, writing mistake is there, please ignore that writing mistake. Thank you so much.